One of the most striking features about this particular anime is definitely going to be its unique quote-unquote style and its style of animation. It can be very erratic at times, and it definitely has a unique spin. However, I feel that it adds to the sort of dark and more demonic tone that they're going for, where the more demonic and the more action-oriented scenes are very wild and loose, and the more mundane, humanish moments are more reserved and more tame in comparison. So I feel that the aesthetics of the show greatly add to the narrative. One might be tempted to simply classify this particular anime as a gore/action fest with no real characters or substance. However, I think that as the series goes on, you realize that this is a heavily character-driven show. And the spectacle of the gore and the more M-rated material gradually begins to decrease as you begin to learn more about these characters. Especially the secondary characters, whom I've heard from many reviewers and many people online state that they are in fact some of the best parts of this show. Whether it be Miki or Miko's inner conflicts or inner desires, to the rappers spectating on the state of the world, to Devilman himself, or Rio, both contemplating their own plans and their own place in the universe. These characters are very involved and very vibrant. The soundtrack, along with the visuals, also adds a lot to this anime's unique identity. I will say that most songs are pretty catchy on their own. If you can find the album on YouTube or SoundCloud or iTunes, I would totally recommend it. It's definitely a good time. The more disco and the more EDM and the more techno beats sort of serve to show more the wild and the more erratic nature of the show, while it can also slip into more emotional orchestras and more anime slice of life sort of OSTs. I would definitely recommend checking it out on its own. However, added all together within the anime creates an amazing experience. I know that when I was watching it, when I was watching one particular scene and that music kicked in, I was nearly in tears. There's a ton of different philosophical and thought-provoking things going on in this anime, and need I remind you, it's only 10 episodes, very bingeable, and yet it manages to convey such a wide array of emotions, from being horrified to the acts of the demons and even the human characters, to being elated when a character is happy, to some really tear-jerking and gut-wrenching moments of pure despair. This anime takes you on a roller coaster of emotions. However, some of the more main themes are, of course, the conflict of humanity's inner darkness as opposed to its inner light, and which side sort of wins out. The anime doesn't give you any easy answers, and you sort of have to come to your own conclusion. I've heard some people say that it has a less than satisfactory ending, but I think that the anime trusts you to sort of come to your own conclusions. I've heard some people say that Devilman Crybaby could be a contender for one of the top anime of 2018, and I tend to agree with those people. It's fresh, it's visually striking, it's unlike anything we've seen so far, and it's on Netflix of all places, which makes it extremely accessible. I think we still have the rest of the year to go, but yeah, I think Crybaby has a lead on a lot of different anime. So all in all, I give this anime an 8 out of 10 aesthetically, that means visually, but a 10 out of 10 emotionally, based on how it impacted me personally, and how I feel the story was conveyed, etc., etc. So take that as you will. I recommend it, but it's not for everyone.